Good morning. Saturday the 12th of July 2014. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon on this beautiful, stunning day outside. It really is very nice down here in Royal Berkshire in the south of the UK. I've already been outside, watered a few plants, although it's completely the wrong time to water them. My hanging baskets I watered last night. You really have to give them a really good soaking. If you've got hanging baskets anyway, you must water them every day, including if it's been raining. They dry out very, very quickly, especially the fuchsias. The fuchsias. Anyway, more on the garden later on. Went swimming yesterday. I've had a little bit of good news. After the swimming, and the good news is also coming up. Don't worry. It's all coming up. Oh, have you got my phone number appearing up there? It hasn't, has it? I'm just wondering. There it is. 1 minute. So what have I got to do? Enable. Got it? There we are. You can call in if you're with us live. Then it's just gone 12 o'clock on Saturday the 12th of July 2014. If you're with us live, you can indeed call in. If you'd like a little bit of a chat with me this morning, my Skype, if you've got Skype, you can do it by Skype. The Skype username is Chris Reardon, all one word, okay? CHRISREARDON. That's the call-in Skype, Chris Reardon. You could also send an instant message that way as well. And there's a phone-in number as well, a local London number. It's 020 8133 6358. 020 8133 6358. If you're watching a recording of the show or listening to a recording of the show, you can still contact us and I'll read your email out next week. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And if you're watching a recording via YouTube, don't forget you can subscribe to the show as well. It's youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. So, went swimming yesterday, as I always do, most days of the week, Monday through to Friday, went swimming. Ronnie comes as well. And we decided to have a cup of tea afterwards because they've got this new machine in there. Oh, it was so exciting. And they usually only do coffees, but I spotted, because last time I asked, I said, do you do tea? Oh, no, we're only doing coffee at the moment. Anyway, so I'm walking past this machine and I notice English breakfast Twinings tea bags underneath it. Now, you don't get much better than that. I've got to tell you, the best tea I've ever tasted is Twinings English breakfast tea. That is the best tea, okay? You want to buy tea, wherever you are in the world, if you want to taste the best English tea, get Twinings English breakfast tea. Each tea bag is wrapped individually in a little brown bag with a picture on the front. Wonderful. So I kind of helped myself to a cup, and all the staff, we get on well with all the staff. I mean, I get on well with the staff. You know, now and again, I have a little conversation. Ronnie gets on well with them, but he goes on and on. He chats and chats and it's like a bloody old woman. It really is. Ronnie's my best mate, if you don't know. He just goes on and on. And you can see them sometimes. Their eyes are glazing over. A little bit probably like yours are watching this show at the moment. I mean, I know someone's eyes are probably glazed over at this time. Someone who's with us most Saturday mornings. Unless, of course, there's the Tour de France on, in which case he doesn't bother appearing. Terry H, who's up in Leeds. Good morning, Terry. His eyes are permanently glazed over because of the amount of alcohol that year. It's very sad, really. You know, such a young person, still in his 20s, I think, mid-20s, I think now, you know, doing the alcohol, and it probably end up on one of those TV programmes, you know, Police Camera Action, something like that, where he comes out of a nightclub, you know, and, you know, tries to get into another club, and I'm sorry, sir, you know, you need to go on. Then he starts rowing with them, and they have to call the police and all that, because Terry H is like in a permanent alcoholic haze. He's got the red face and, you know, the veins and all that, where they come out when you can see that they drink an awful lot. You know, he's very, very well known in Leeds for being one of those drunks. You know, Sunday morning, you can see him, he gets out of bed, reaches over, you know, the bedside cabinet for his half drunk can of Tennant's. and then goes outside, for a walk down to the supermarket looking for some breakfast with the can of Tennent's in his head, in his hands. It's awful, really. Anyway, back to the story. So I've picked up a cup, and the lady, she's the cleaner lady, actually. Cleaner lady. She's very nice. But she's got this habit of coming in the changing room. No, she doesn't just walk in. She usually knocks. Hello, cleaner, can I come in? And so we quickly wrap a little towel around her delicate little waist and say, yeah, it's okay. And then she comes and starts cleaning. Now, I know she's got a job to do, so she has to do that. It gets on my bloody nerves, to be honest, but I've never said anything. They don't know when to come in and when not to come in, other than closing the pool for an hour. But she does a good job, and she cleans, and she comes in, and we kind of accept that. Anyway, so she says, oh, do you want a cup of tea? I'll make you one then. And I'm like saying, well, no, it doesn't matter. We'll be okay at the moment. She says, oh, I'll make it for you. It's £1.20 a cup. Jesus Christ, I thought to myself. £1.20 for a cup of tea? Yeah, in this paper cup. Anyway, so I said, yeah, we'll have 2 cups of tea. I better get him one as well, because he was still getting changed. The reason it had taken him longer to get out of the changing room in the swimming pool, because we go up to the Hilton. Oh, yes, dear. The Hilton Hotel. They've got a lovely pool up there, here in Bracknell. So I go up there, and I've been up there now about 8 months. The pool is always, reasonably warm. It's not hot. It's reasonably... You can get in the pool and not go as your toe goes in. I hate that, don't you? When you pay to go swimming and the pool's bloody cold. I really hate that. Anyway, so he's still getting changed. And the reason he's still getting changed is because he's chatting again to people in the changing room. Chat, 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 chat. Give it a bloody rest. The voice. And it's loud. The entire hotel is listening to my best mate's conversation with these blokes in the room. It's so loud. So bloody loud. Chat, chat, chat. Oh, God. So I'm making the cup of tea now. Oh, the girl's making the cup of tea. I've handed over £2.40. But I didn't mind. I thought we'll have a nice cup of tea. And then she pushes this button on this machine. And suddenly it came back to me in a flash. I recognised this machine as being very, very similar to one I've had before. And basically, you push a button and very hot water comes out of the cup. Now, tea drinkers will know where this conversation is going. Do you know where this conversation... I bet Wendy will know where this conversation is going. The Americans who might be with us this morning, good morning, Marge is with us this morning, will not know this until I tell you that. Right. You cannot make proper tea with very hot water. It must be boiling. And it must be boiling at the time of putting it into the cup and onto the tea bag or through the tea leaves in a pot, whatever you're doing. You don't let the kettle turn off, wait 10 seconds, and then pour it on. It's not boiling anymore, okay? It will not taste the same. I've told this on the show countless hundreds and thousands of times over the last 9 years when I've been chatting here rubbish for you all. You can't make it with very hot water. The water must be boiling, okay? And I said to her, that's not boiling water, is it? She said, oh, I don't know. I said, I know it's not. I said, that machine, it gives you very hot water. But I said, oh, that's not going to taste nice. She said, oh, do you not want it then? I said, no, we'll have it anyway. And at that point, Faceache appears, through the other door. He's had one conversation and immediately launches into another conversation with the staff who are sitting there, trying to mind their own business. Let me see, there's a boy there who's on, what is it called? Where they release them from school and they do a day's work at somewhere. There was a boy there, and then there was a boy on the desk, and then there was there was a lady on the desk, and there was the cleaner lady who was making our tea. I hope she washed her hands first after she's been cleaning those toilets. Oh, there's a thought. So he started conversing over there. I said, I've got your cup of tea. Oh, thanks, sweetie. Oh, God, please stop calling me sweetie in front of people. I don't like it. And once again, you could see the eyes on the members of staff glazing over as she launched into yet another very fascinating, interesting conversation. So the tea was made, and it was put down in front of us, and off the cleaning lady went off to do her work. I don't know what her name is. She recently split up from her boyfriend, and they've got back together again. And she was practically in tears a couple of weeks ago. No, was it about a week ago? And I says, are you still not with your boyfriend? Oh, she said, yeah, no, we're with each other. She said, did I tell you otherwise? She didn't even remember. Didn't even remember she told us to. Another one who lives in a cloud of alcohol. Terry's just messaged and he says, stop it, the picture you have painted me is not true. I'm a lovely young man. Terry, if you want to believe that, that's fine. We haven't got a problem with that, my darling. You carry on, lovey. You carry on believing that, lovey. All right? I'm being very naughty today, and I'm sorry, I just feel in a naughty mood. So we're sitting there, he's on his mobile phone, I found, I think, a newspaper to read there, and I took a little sip of this tea, and it was vile. It just don't taste right. You must know what I mean. Wendy, are you with us this morning? Do you know what I mean about this dodgy tea when it's not made with boiling water? When you go to America sometimes, I know that a lot of rooms, you get a coffee machine, don't you? And you do get tea bags, but the water's not boiling. No. So you don't get a decent cup of tea. Mind you, the tea bags in the States, oh no, they're awful. Now, what are they called? Oh, Lipton's. Oh, God. They're horrible. It's horrible tea. So, as a British person, an upstanding British citizen, I must go on my holidays with my own small kettle and tea bags from the UK, which of course you must declare at customs. They're always allowed in, but, it's best to say something than nothing. Don't ever go through customs with an item that, this will, in your mind, this will probably be all right. No, it might not be. Always declare it, because you don't want to be pulled over. Declare something if you're not sure about it. And I always declare my tea bags, and generally they laugh. Like, the American one said, the American custom guy said, are our tea bags not good enough for you then? And I said, no. And he just laughed and let you through. They usually let you through. But there might be a country that wouldn't allow such a thing. So, and take new ones. Take ones that are wrapped up. Okay, because I think that makes a difference as well. If it's unwrapped, then you could have put something dodgy in there, couldn't you? Like drugs or something like that. And then you would, that they might not let that in, those tea bags. So always take a brand new packet of tea bags, seal unbroken, that cellophane stuff around it, and you're getting okay. So that was a minor disaster yesterday. A minor disaster at the swimming pool. Can't have another cup of tea there. Vile. I left most of it. And then we went off. And the reason we went off was because I had a new hospital appointment. Let's just say hello to... Vectis. Good morning, Vectis. On the Isle of Wight. It's work experience. So that boy was on that work experience. So he was there as well. And Ronnie starts talking to him as well. And at once, and he looks he looks scared, actually. Because Ronnie is very camp. He's a bit like Larry Grayson. Oh, he really is. And the boy was looking a bit scared, to be honest, once he started. Oh, hello, darling, what do you do here? And all this business. This poor boy, I don't know, but he's 16 years old. But, oh, God, what's he going on about? What's he... Sorry, if you hear a little beep now and again, I'm just turning my air conditioning on and off. I don't like to leave it on permanently, running up the electric bill any more than it has to be. Oh, good news on my electric bill. My direct debit has gone down. Going down. Cling. Oh, more money in the bank. It's gone down 58.49. £9 a month. Isn't that good? I have actually started working out how much electricity and gas I'm using, and it turns out that I'm using barely any gas at the moment. Don't turn the gas on. during the summer. My hot water is heated by the water solar panel thing I've got on the roof. So barely any gas. Yeah, all I'm paying for is the blooming standing charge. Okay. Why do we have to have standing charges on meters? That's always a bit of a con, I think. And the electricity is running. I'm buying about 60 pence, I think it is a day. 60 pence a day. Because I've got solar panels, so most of my electricity comes free with the solar panels that are pouring electricity into my circuits as we sit here talking to you. We need more sun. So that's it. Wendy says, yes, I'm here, and I totally agree with you about lukewarm tea. Yuck. Oh, it's vile, Wendy. Well, you say lukewarm. It's not boiling water. It's very hot. You couldn't put your finger under it, but it's not boiling. It tastes completely different. Yorkshire tea is a very good cup of tea as well. Yes, I've had that as well, Wendy. Very nice. Yorkshire tea. Oh, good morning to 3D Focus. Good morning, sir. Who says, hi, now where are you again? Can't remember where you are, 3D Focus. Hey, Chris, surely Starbucks black tea in America is the world's best. Yes. Yes. After saying that about the Americans unable to make tea, I have to say if you're in America, go to Starbucks and order black tea. Now, what's it? It's called Wake Up. I think it's called Wake Up tea or Waking Up tea, something like that. In America, get yourself some of that. That's fine. Starbucks in America. Okay? You do get a decent cup of tea in Starbucks. And of course, wherever Starbucks are, that will be the same tea. You can actually buy that tea, but it's a bit pricey, dear. Oh, it's a little bit... You're quite right. Starbucks black tea, Tazo tea. It's Tazo, T-A-Z-O, Tazo or Tazo. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I think it's Wake Up or something like that. Thank you, Mr. 3D Focus, who is in... Oh, I see a little pencil drawing us a message. Let's see where... I can't remember where you are now. Jonathan in Surrey, K. Oh, it's posh there. Jonathan, do you know I do a little quiz night down that way in Rotherhithe on Tuesday nights? Do you know the Mayflower? Right on the Thames. I do a quiz night there Tuesday nights, 8:30 to 10:30. £50 bar tab is the prize. Get yourself down there. Have I got the quiz up here? Oh no, otherwise I could have told you what the subjects are next week. I think it's people. People is one of the rounds. Oh no! Did you hear that? A load of papers have just dropped down behind my desk. I'll sort it out later. Yes, you must come to that. The quiz night at the Mayflower, Rotherhithe. Tuesday nights, 8:30 to 10:30. All right, John. Thank you, Jonathan. Marge says, thought I was deaf when the show started. No, you're not deaf. That was me forgetting to turn the switch on the microphone. Sorry, Marge. Glad you got it fixed. Twinings gives me joint pain extreme because of the acidic quality. There's a lot of acid in tea, Marge says. I love it too, but it does not love me. For swimming, Marge says my horse tank is always nice and hot and no horses have ever been in or around it. Oh, you want to get yourself a horse in there, Marge. Give you someone to talk to. I always talk to my cat and she talks back. Meow, 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 like that. Terry H drinks Yorkshire tea as we speak because he is a Yorkshire man. Yorkshire tea's fine. Nothing wrong with Yorkshire tea. Jonathan says, I do know the Mayflower. I'm going to pop in one evening. Yeah, make sure you do. And you'll have to come up and tell me who you are, Jonathan, because I haven't seen a picture of you. You know, you're one of these people that put different... a picture other than your own picture on your Skype, aren't you? Maybe a flower or a picture of the area. Why do people do that? Does that mean you're ugly, Jonathan? Are you too ugly to put a picture of yourself on there? Is that what it is? On some of those gay dating sites, you know, you see all these pictures of people and then there might be someone, I don't know, probably Terry H does this, you know, Terry H, and there'd be a picture of I don't know, a cat or a dog or a horse or a flower or a building, you know, and you know when you see those pictures the person is so ugly that they don't want you to see their real look. Is that right, Terry? I'm so naughty this morning. I don't know why. Right, any more messages before we carry on with the story? No, how disappointing. Email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I actually took a long time because I got up early this morning. Got up about 8:30. Had breakfast and I was pottering around trying to find something to do. And I started printing off stories and writing bits and pieces down for the show, which is only supposed to be an hour long. To be honest, I've got about 4 hours worth of stories here, but I'm not going to chat. There's no way you'd stay for 4 hours, is there? Not when the weather... Because by then it'll be 4 o'clock, the sun will have gone down and you'll miss it all. So we will try and stick to the hour, don't worry, okay? So, after we've been swimming, I had a hospital appointment yesterday for my throat, the ongoing throat problem, which was for 2 o'clock. Now, I'm dropping everything here, 1 minute. Everything's falling on the floor. What's this? Oh, it's my little bank thing. What's this he's sending? Oh, John sent a picture of himself. Oh, let's have a look at you. File received. Show. How do I do that? Oh, no, is that right? What do I do there? Oh, there you are. Oh, he's a painter and decorator. Oh, you're not ugly at all. Get your picture on there, Jonathan. Well, he says he's sent me a picture of himself with a roller thing. John, can I show the picture to people or not? Would that be acceptable or not? Just let me know. I always worry, when people start sending you pictures of themselves. You can't just put it up. You have to ask permission first. Do you want to see what Jonathan looks like? Do you want to see what Terry looks like? Terry, if you send me a decent picture of yourself, I'll show that as well. Although that would be hard to find, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Have you got one of yourself not looking too drunk, or are they all those dodgy club pictures? Are those dodgy clubs you go to? Huh? So naughty. So we left the swimming pool round about 12:10. I popped home to get some money because I promised to buy him lunch afterwards, and he drove us to the hospital yesterday. Now, my appointment was for 2 o'clock. Of course, I get there at 1:15. Because often I get to appointments early and they see you early. I can't bear being late. I cannot bear being late for anything. It really annoys me. People that are late. Really, really gets on my goat, that does. And I won't be late. If you ask me to be somewhere, I will not be late. If I am late, there has been some terrible disaster, like an accident on the road, and no one could get round it. That's possible. But generally, I will leave much earlier so that if I get into an accident, or the queue of an accident, I've got time to get through it. You see what I mean? So we left 12:10, appointment 2 o'clock, got to the hospital 1:15, which even by my standards, I have to say, is a little bit early. Now, I was concerned that I shouldn't eat anything. Jonathan says you can have a look at his picture, so let's just bring that up for you. 1 minute. Now, where have I hidden you, Jonathan? I think you're going to be in newly saved items. Oh, hang on. Where's that? View, sort by date. Oh, where's the bloody date gone? Oh, where's the date? Sort by date added, is it? Date modified? Is it date modified? 1 minute. There he is. Hang on. Right. Add that there. Right, here's a picture of Jonathan. Now, there you go. There's Jonathan. He's not ugly, is he? Get that on your profile picture, Jonathan, for Christ's sake. Huh? Get it on your profile picture. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Any offers? You straight, lad, or what? Are you married? Are you looking for a lady? We can do that on the show. We can get people hooked up on here. There's Jonathan. Let's see if Terry sends one. Oh, no, he's not sending a photo. Terry says, I'm not sending you a photo. If Heat magazine see it, they will be all over it. Oh, you think so, do you? You're naughty. There you are, Wendy. What do you reckon on Jonathan? He's not bad looking, is he? Eh? You'd invite him round, wouldn't you? Let's put your husband away first, my darling. You naughty girl. So carrying on. Get to the hospital. Now, I didn't really want anything to eat because I wasn't quite sure if they were going to start shoving things down my throat again. But I got a bit hungry, so we went straight in. I went into the reception, and then it suddenly dawned on me. Now, my appointment was 2 o'clock. And as I said to you, I like to get to places early, in case I get seen early. And if I don't, it doesn't matter, because I'm still in place, ready for the timed appointment. Suddenly dawned on me that probably they come back from lunch at 2 o'clock and I'm the first appointment. Therefore, getting there any earlier than 2 o'clock is a complete waste of time because no one's going to be there anyway. So we went in there and the reception lady was there. I said, hello, can we book in, please? She said, yeah, what's your appointment? I said, 2 o'clock. I said, am I guessing right that people will be at lunch now until 2 o'clock? She said, that's right. She said, there won't be anyone seeing me. You'll be the first appointment. I said, it's pointless me sitting there then, really, isn't it? She said, yes, it is. She said, go and have a cup of tea. I said, oh, okay then. So we went to the tea place and I got 2 cups of tea, and that was quite reasonable. That was £2. I think it was £2.20 for 2 cups of tea. And I thought, well, I feel a bit peckish. And they do have, in this particular hospital, Frimley Park Hospital is the one I went to in Berkshire. They do have a rather wonderful food area there. You can buy baguettes, or you can buy sweets and crisps, or you can buy pasties and jacket potatoes with beans and things, and if you want meat and stuff like that, and fish and all this sort of stuff. And it's all available there. And it's very, very clean. It's very clean hospital, Frimley Park Hospital in Frimley. So I really fancied some beans and cheese on a jacket potato, but I thought, it might be a little bit much to eat. Besides, you don't want people examining you and suddenly you start passing wind. Now, Wendy did send me a little passing wind story today, but that's particularly vile story, Wendy. I shan't be using it on our little show today to upset all our millions of regular listeners and viewers. We won't be doing that story, but thank you. Why hasn't that come on? But thank you for sending it anyway. I do appreciate anything that's sent in. Email address chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. So I did spot a couple of large biscuits. Marge will know them of course as cookies, and they had little Smarties in. I thought, well, I'll have a couple of those. So the tea was £2.20 for 2 cups, and I thought, oh, that's not bad, So can I have 2 of those biscuits as well, please? So she said yes. She puts them on the tray. So that's £5.50, please. Jesus Christ! How much for one cookie? How much for one large biscuit? So £2.20, £3.20, £4.20, £5.20, £30, £40, £50. So it's £3.30 for 2 large biscuits. What a liberty, dear. £1.75 each, was it? Just a minute. Mental arithmetic. What did I say? £3.30. What's half of that? So it's £1.65. £1.65 for each biscuit. Anyway, once they put them on the plate, I went, oh no, I can't pay for that, and put them back. So I thought we did feel a bit peckish, so I got him a couple of those. I was getting these on my own because meantime he'd run off down to another department to see if they got the results of a scan that he had, because he's got a bad back. He's registered disabled because he has a bad back. Now and again I have to push him around in a wheelchair, which I find highly amusing. I'm the sort of person that would happily push him around on a wheelchair and then get to the edge of a cliff and start going, oh, like that. Pushing it, and he'd be screaming, no, don't, which would make me do it even more. I find that thing sort of highly amusing to do that to him. I really would. You may have seen the, I don't know if you ever saw the video we did in John Lewis, I think at the end of last year, where he was indeed in a wheelchair for this one. He had an electric wheelchair with a little joystick and all that business. Oh, we had some fun in John Lewis. You'll have to look for that video. I can't remember what date it was now. I think it was at the end of last year. You'll find that at unitedkingdomtalktv.co.uk. unitedkingdomtalktv.co.uk, where you'll also find our daily little videos that we do there, okay? So I've got this tea. It was a pot of tea for two, actually, which she said was cheaper than buying 2 single cups. Sat down at this table, and 2 lovely nurses came and sat next to us. One Irish lady that we started talking to as well. Meantime, I'm sitting there waiting for him to appear, and then he appears, and he says, well, I'm at completely the wrong hospital. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I can't have had it done here. Or he turned up at the wrong hospital or to collect these scans, or it's somewhere completely different. Oh, dear. So we sat there drinking our tea and eating our £1.65 cookies, which were very nice. They were very nice. Not for £1.65 though. Blimey, so much money for one biscuit. So we had those, and then I went in. Went back round to the place, sat down there about 10 to 2, and at 5 to 2 they called us in to start doing for my appointment. And I had a very nice doctor, same one that shoved up the camera up my nose about 6 weeks ago, Miss Pitcairn, and she was from Canada. Nice lady. She told you how it was. You know what I mean? She told you how it was. So I went in there. She said, I've got the results back from all your blood tests and things. So she said, yes, they're all okay. Oh, excuse me. Itchy nose. I'm going to have a row with someone. Oh, Christ, I bet Ronnie's listening to this show and he's going to have a row with me now. Good. I'll enjoy that, because I'll win again. I always win rows. Always win the rows. By walking away, generally. I walk... I walk off. I can't be bothered to row with people. I just walk off. I can't be bothered to... Life is too short to have rows, isn't it? You just walk off, and then someone calms down, and then it's all back to normal again. And that's it. So she said, yes, all your test results are fine, except for one. And I said, oh, is that the kidneys by any chance? She said, that's right. I said, yes, my special doctor knows about that, and he's happy with how they are. This is another thing. I've got a long-term thing. So she said, all right, okay. She said, well, if he's happy, then we're happy as well. And she said, is there anything else that's worrying you? I said, no, not really. She said, well, I can discharge you then. We can't find anything wrong. There's no growth, no lump. Nothing's gone wrong here. It's just a bit bigger, but they can't find anything wrong. So I guess that's it then. I don't know where we go from there. Discharged. Look. Got the bit of paper here. Discharged from the care. Nothing wrong. Don't know what to say, really. She says to try and keep the acid reflux under control. And for that, I take Gaviscon Advanced. Now, I have this only once, just before I go to bed at night. And it's a pepperminty taste, which I have become used to. I wasn't keen on it before. It tasted almost unnatural, shall we say. But it seems to be doing the job all right. And I certainly don't wake up with acid coming up or anything like that. So that's certainly doing the job. Now, I told you on a previous show that I think the acid is caused by bread products. And really, since I knocked out all the bread and potatoes and all those other things just before Lent in February, I haven't really had the problem. After I lost the weight, I started reintroducing these things, but in much smaller amounts. Now, let me tell you, before I went on that, knocking out all that stuff, I could go into Waitrose on a Monday, buy a loaf of bread, and it would be gone by the end of the day. The entire loaf. Now, I go in, might buy 2 rolls, and that's it. Just a couple of little rolls or bagels. Now, this week, on Tuesday, I bought a bag of 4 bagels. And I had 3 in that day. On Wednesday, I had another bagel and a couple of rolls. And on Thursday, I think I had 2 or 3 bread rolls. On Friday, my acid was back with a vengeance. You know, it was coming up good and strong, and it's horrible. So it's got to be, I'm pretty sure it's the bread doing it. So yesterday, no bread yesterday, no bread today. So far, no acid. So I'm pretty sure it's over. I don't think I can not eat bread at all, but in very small amounts. You know, maybe I'll leave it now for a couple of days because I had the acid, and then maybe Monday I might buy 1 or 2 rolls, but not have bread every day and then 3 or 4 times a day. That, I think, is what the problem is. So I've been discharged, and that's it. So really, I guess it's something I just have to live with. You know, now and again, this thing on the side of my neck will come up. It's a gland. And that's it, really. That really is it. What can you do? I have to put up with it. End of. Also, I went to see about my feet. So I've now got exercises for my feet, which don't take very long, no more than 2 or 3 minutes. And isn't it funny, when you're given something like exercises, physiotherapy type things, I think I told you about this last week, even though it's 3 minutes, you have trouble fitting that into your day, don't you? Why is that? Is it that you don't really want to do it? They're not particularly painful, they're quite easy to do. But you think, oh, I haven't done my exercises yet. Oh, I haven't got time to do it now. But I've kind of got into a routine where I am now doing it. And as I say, it only takes 3 or 4 minutes. It's just bending your foot round on this rubber band type thing you give you, standing on the stairs and pushing your heels down. And also, twice a day, I have to put my feet in freezing cold water for 15 minutes. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as you think it is. The bit that's worse is when you first put your feet in. And they go into the water, and you've got you put ice cubes in there as well. But actually, within a couple of minutes, the water warms up because of your feet. So I'm doing that religiously twice a day, usually in the afternoon just before I go to bed, and again in the at night. I come home from work, and I'm staying up a little bit longer now so I can actually do this. I come in from work, then I have a cup of tea and put the telly on for 15 minutes, get my water, put it down like 4 o'clock in the morning, in go the feet, 15 minutes, and then I go to bed. So that actually works quite well. And I've got another appointment with the lovely David, who's very, very good looking, I must say. David on Monday at the physiotherapy place here in Bracknell. After we'd been to the throat place and I got the all clear, I did say I was going to take Ronnie out for lunch, so we went to a carvery. And I haven't been to one for ages and ages. There is one in Frimley. And we came, which is the same area as the hospital. So we came out of there. I said, do you know how to get there for me? He said, no, put your sat-nav on. So I got my mobile phone, because I've got TomTom sat-nav, you see, on the mobile phone. And I typed in the address and it said, it's 25 seconds away. It was only down the road, like 20 seconds drive away. So we went in there. We got there about 2:30. It was still quite busy. And they've got a new item on the menu, vegetarian shepherd's pie. This is the Toby Carvery in Frimley. Oh, it's lovely. Really nice. Vegetarian shepherd's pie, Toby Carveries, and you should be able to get those at all Toby Carveries here in the UK. Do please try it, and you won't know it's not meat. Really nice. And then, of course, you helped yourself to loads of vegetables. And that was a little bit naughty. I did overdo, once again, the roast potatoes. The roast potatoes in the Toby Carvery are really the best roast potatoes you'll ever take. And apparently it's due to ruffling. And they've got this like little menu, and they tell you the secret roast potato is the ruffling. So they part boil them, not so that they go all soft, because you'll do it all wrong then. They part boil these roast potatoes, and then they kind of put the lid on the saucepan, and then they shake them. I don't know how long they shake them for, but they shake them for a while, and then they put them in the oven with the oil on top, or whatever it is they put, of fat on top or something like that. Oh, they are so nice. I prefer the little ones. You know, little crispy ones. Oh, they're delish. Yum, 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 yum. Half my plate was full up with those and loads of vegetables and all that. Of course, I don't have the meat. Ronnie had a bit of chicken. And actually, he didn't have much at all. I did notice his plate was a lot less full than it usually had. And at the end, you've got to have the ice cream. Oh, they do this honey. Again, the Toby Carvery, their ice cream is delish, lovely. And it comes in either a long glass or a wide glass. He didn't have any. And I had to make a point of saying to him, you know, don't wait till mine comes over. Oh, can I have a bit of yours? No, I hate that. Don't you hate that? You have a bag of chips. Oh, someone come along and say, oh, can I just have one of your chips? No, you can't. Go and buy a bag. I'll buy you a bag. But you're not having any of mine. Thank you very much. No. No chips for you. No ice cream for you. So I sat there and overcame my ice cream with the honeycomb bits in it and a lovely chocolate flake sticking out of the top. Can't remember the last time I had chocolate, actually. It's ages ago. Oh, it was lovely. And I said, you sure, do you want a bit of this? And he said, no, I don't want any. You know, I think he's worried about putting on the weight again. He's not looking too bad at the moment. Of course, he doesn't look as good as me. You know, but that's one of those things, isn't it? You know, I mean, when you look at yourself in the mirror, who does? Who does look at, 51 years old and I still look like I'm about 24 or 25, don't I? You know, when I was in America with my nephew, Jimmy, who's 17, people said to Jimmy, is he my father? That's how young I look. Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. But I do. As those of you that watch the show can see this. You know, I can't believe he's 50. I can hear you saying it now. I can hear you saying it. Say it. Go on, say it. So we had the Carvery, and then after that I went home, and he went home as well. And that was it. And I had a night off. I had a lovely night off, and I watched the film Hocus Pocus, Disney film about these three witches. What a great film that is. And this boy gets turned into a cat. That's not too bad, is it? You know, a cat is being turned into a cat. What a life that would be. I mean, I think, quite honestly, I'd be quite happy to be turned into a cat, as long as I don't end up in somewhere like China and Thailand, where they defer them. I did post a little film on my Facebook wall. You may, if you're not on my Facebook, you can join me on there. Chris Reardon UK is my Facebook, okay? Chris Reardon UK is my Facebook. You can join us on there. Just a few limited spaces available. Because once you get to a certain amount, then no one else can join. I think there's a limit of 4,999 people on Facebook. Terry H says, I can believe it. What can you believe, Terry? The fact that I don't look anywhere near my age. It's unbelievable, isn't it, really? And I don't do anything. I've had no operations on the face or anything like that. I don't believe in any of that. Have you seen people having those injections of, what is it? Botox, isn't it? Botox. Oh, and they got these little injections and a little bit of blood comes out where the needle goes in. Oh, no, I can't be doing with any of that. No, just a bit of bio oil. That's what I put on. Daily bio oil goes on my face. Although Wendy says you have to be a bit careful. If you start getting itchy eyes, stop using it. Because don't put too much on, you know. You don't want a face and you're walking around and this oil is dripping off your face. That would be too much. Just a little bit. Rub it in. Makes you look nice and young. That's one thing Terry has got going for him. He does look young, really. He does look quite young at the moment. Terry H says, you defo do look 51. I beg your pardon. After I've been saying all those nice things about you this morning, Terry. That's a bit much, isn't it? Oh, I've got to say it. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. 1 minute. I've forgotten something. Join me. There we are. I keep forgetting to do things this morning. I don't look 51, do I really? Let me have a look in my face. I don't. You know I don't, Terry, so don't give me all that. It's the gay genes, you see. None of us really look our age, except Ronnie, of course. Yeah, he looks much, much... He doesn't think... He's got one of those... He likes this beard. This new beard thing that everyone's doing. Have you noticed that? Even the straight lads are doing it now. They're all growing these beards. Well, he's got a bit of grey in his beard. And that's making him look about 60 or 70 years old. I mean, it really is. So, yes, so I watched a film, Hocus Pocus, last night while I was sitting at home alone, because I got 3 nights off. Why have I got 3 nights off? Because of the bloody football again. Oh, yes. The football again. Oh, was it poor old... Who lost 7-1 the other night? Was that Holland? 7-1. No, it was Brazil, wasn't it? 7-1. They were booing the players. Booing the players. 7-1. God, I remember my nephew when he was very young, I think 8 or 9, he played in this little school team, and one day they lost like 34-0 or something hideous like that. Oh, bless him. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, does it? Because they're little boys and they try their best, and it doesn't matter about the score, and that's it. So 3 nights off. Last night I watched Hocus Pocus and Escape to the Country. Do you like that? Oh, they've got beautiful houses. Escape to the Country. That's a programme here in the UK where they go, people who own a house in a city or a large town, they go out to the country areas looking to see if they want to move out there, and the presenter shows them, I think, 3 houses that they think they will like, and a mystery house. And you go and see these houses. But there's nothing that you could afford, or me. You know, they're all like 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds. There was a bloke on there the other day said, and what's your price range? Oh, we can go up to about 1.1 million. They don't show normal houses like you or me would live in, do they? But it is lovely to see these places. And of course, a lot of these houses that are right out in the country are relatively cheap to the houses that they own in town, or you can get a lot more for your money out there. You know, great big house, massive garden, and lots of land around, like an acre of land. There was one in Wales, P-O-W-Y-S, Powys, P-O-W-Y-S, I think it was. I'm not quite sure how you say it. But it was a beautiful house and so much land and the flowers and all that. And it's beautiful. The trouble is, you know, you or I couldn't afford something like this. I wish they'd do normal houses. They could do it in Lincolnshire. You know, the house I'm living in now, which I paid £61,000 for in 1992, this house is now worth about £260,000. Okay? 3-bedroom house, garage, garden. Right? Now, you may think, Christ, that's a lot of money. All the houses around here are worth that. That's just how it is now. Remember, I didn't pay £61,000 for it. And probably Marge at this point is thinking, oh, you must be rich to live in a house like that. Well, no, because I didn't pay that for it. I only paid £61,000 for it. Okay? Now, if I was to sell this, 260, I could buy a large bungalow in Lincolnshire near my sister, not in the same place as my sister, about 3 or 4 miles away from her, for about £160,000. So I could sell this, buy that, another 100, well, I don't know, after the fees and that, I suppose about £75,000 left over. I wouldn't have to work. I could give up working if I wanted to. But I can't, I'm not in a job where I look forward to giving up work. I'm really not. I love what I do. I love, in particular, the karaoke and the quiz night. I love doing those two particularly. The DJing, I still do it, but I would rather be doing the other two. I don't dislike DJing, although some of the music at the moment is absolutely dire. That new Beyonce stuff coming out is dire. And that rap stuff and all that business. And, you know, it seems to me, a lot of the time now, you don't have to be able to sing. You need to look pretty. And if you're not pretty, you need to be made to look pretty. And that's the be-all and end of it. When you see all these girls and boys gyrating in their music... Well, I don't watch music videos. Load of old rubbish. So I'm not so keen on the DJing now, but I still do it, and it's okay. But I would rather be doing karaoke and quiz nights. Right? Itchy eye there. So I'm not looking forward to a job that I want... I'm not in a job that I'm looking forward to retiring to. But if I wanted to, I could. And I could sell up, go up there. If I went even further out from my sister, you know, there are places in the UK where you can get houses now for a few £1,000s, less than £10,000. You could buy a house for £5,000. It would be in a very rundown area, but you could do it if you wanted to. I know Liverpool were selling off rows of houses for £1 on the understanding that you spent the money to do them all up. So I could do that if I wanted to. But escape to the country, lovely houses, wish I could afford them. They should do normal ones, shouldn't they, like you or I? Let's do some messages. 3D Focus says, note to self, clean your juicer straight after using it. I forgot to clean my vegetable juicer in the week. I just opened the lid and a bunch of flies flew out. Oh, how awful. They are now everywhere in my kitchen and you definitely look great for 51. Thank you, Jonathan. Oh, no. Flies in the juicer. I have to be careful when I put the cat food down. I never put down a whole packet in the summer because if she leaves any, then I might go back to it an hour later and you'll find fly eggs. Oh. And you don't want your cat eating fly. I'm sure it'd probably do her no harm at all. But I can't have my cat eating fly eggs. And they stick out of my... You can see these little white things all dotted over the meat where these vile flies have laid their eggs. Nasty, nasty. Wendy says, I love the picture you've got up on the left, the old Thames TV picture. Or do you want a better look? Yes, Thames TV, there we are, that's the whole picture there, was one of the ITV companies that provided the programmes for London up to 1992. I know quite a lot about television. And this was their old logo, and it's a beautiful mix-up of various iconic London buildings. Those of you that just listen to the show, we've got St Paul's on there, Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, Tower Bridge, the Post Office Tower and various other bits and pieces, all sitting on the Thames. And it is a lovely picture. And I found that picture online because actually it should have the word Thames written across the middle of it. But I found the picture on the internet about quite a few years ago now without the Thames logo. So I saved the picture. And a while ago, my brother-in-law was making pictures out of canvas, you know, and they put a frame. I think he buys the frame in. You buy a frame and you staple the picture around the outside. And I sent him the picture and I said, could you get that made for me? And he did make it up, and it was hanging up in the hall. Since I decorated the hall, I haven't put the pictures back up. Actually, I might do that this afternoon. It's about there's a load of pictures that haven't been put up since I decorated. That was back in January, dear, when I had the windows done as well, wasn't it? So there we are. Now, what have we done? We've done Carvery. What did I just talk? I can't even remember what I was just talking about now. Pictures. Where did we get for that? Oh, I was doing messages, wasn't I? Thank you, Wendy. I love that picture as well. Terry H says, just trying to get you back. What, calling me looking like 51? You know I don't. I bet, Terry, if we was in a club somewhere, right, and you didn't know me, I bet you'd try and chat me up. You would, wouldn't you? Go on, admit it. You would try and chat me up. Brazil lost. It was an amazing match. Oh, you're not a football person, are you, Terry? It's lost me 3 nights this week, that bloody football. Marge says, I'm actually very rich. I own everything I have, not more than, not many can say that. Yes, 14 acres and a place to live in a car. All mine and my motorcycle, pets. In some countries, I would be considered very rich. I don't judge my life by things, just stuff we must have to live, of course. Yes, I consider you richer than myself, Marge. I would love to have 14 acres of land that I could plant things on and have and watch animals. Like, I know you have raccoons just walking freely about your land, don't you? That must be wonderful. You see, with the money that even if I sold this house, Marge, I couldn't have. There is nowhere I could buy 14 acres of land here. Perhaps I could move near you. I could move near you, buy a little. I only want a small house, a little house, but I'd like a lot of land, you know, so I can plant things and watch things grow, and I think that's very beautiful. talking of things growing, on one of the short videos this week, I told you I was considering a garden pond. I've now gone away from that idea because quite a few people were saying that having a pond is quite hard work. It's quite a lot of cleaning, and certainly around where I live, I'm surrounded here by pine trees, and the needles go everywhere. Sort of come September, October, November, you have to mow the grass simply to pick the needles up. They are everywhere. And can you just imagine looking after the pond with all those needles dropping in it, and you get the algae. So I don't think I'm going to do a pond because that sounds like quite hard work. I might have a water feature. And I mentioned water features, and then someone emailed, it might have been Eloise, I can't remember now, and they said that I'd seen a solar water feature, so you don't have to use the electricity. The trouble is, as soon as a cloud come over, the water feature stops. So you wouldn't see much of that in the winter. So I don't even know about a water feature now. I think I'm going to go with the bushes and flowering plants in the area that I've got potatoes growing at the moment. So we've gone off the garden pond idea and gone to flowers idea. Talking of flowers, in Waitrose yesterday, we saw, or was it Thursday? I bought 2 beautiful flowers, big yellow flowers they were, that were growing in pots, and they had 3 left. So I bought 2 of them, and Ronnie bought Ronnie bought 1 as well. I bought 1 for Ronnie, and they were really nice, beautiful yellow flowers. And the bloke says you need to deadhead them. I said, how long will they last? He said, probably about another 6 weeks. Make sure you deadhead them. Now, when you deadhead flowers, you've got to do it correctly. Don't just pull off the petals. Underneath the petals, you will see a seed pod. You've got to cut that off as well. Because if you don't, the plant thinks it's done its job. It's grown the flower, it's made the seeds, and it gives up. Okay? You've got to cut off the flower head, including the seed pod. You cut off the seed pod, and then the plant thinks, oh, hang on a minute, I've got no babies. I'll grow some more. And more flowers come up. All right? Very important. A lot of people, including myself until this year, because I've only just found out about this, a lot of people will cut the flower off, but they leave the seeds in the bottom. Big mistake. You need to cut the seed head, so all in one go, pair of scissors, snip, gone. All right? And then you'll get more and more flowers. Very good in Waitrose with the flower. You know, we went in to do some shopping, and the flower section is outside. So I said, oh, we want to. I said, can we leave them out here and pay out here and then do our shopping? He said, yes, sir, that's fine. So he put these 3 flowers at the back. We done our shopping. Oh, and then Ronnie found something else to moan about, didn't he? Oh, God, I thought, here we go again. So we went in for a little shopping, okay? And they also have a tea area there. So we had a cup of tea, and I was a bit hungry, so I ordered a toasted cheese bagel. Now, they took a bit long to bring it out, but they were very busy. We understood that, yes. They said, oh, it'll be about 15 minutes. That's fine, okay. After 15 minutes, still hadn't come up, so Ronnie rushed over and said something. Surprise, surprise. Oh, he was thinking of me, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. And he said, oh, it's coming out now. I said, out came a toasted cheese sandwich. And I'm like, with a bit of salad on the side, all looked very nice. And he brought over a little bit of tomato sauce in a little dish. And he said, he says, there you go, sir. And I'm like, oh. I said, okay, that's fine. Ronnie immediately says, oh, he ordered a bagel. I said, no, that's okay. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, it looks very nice. I said, it looks lovely. I said, that's fine. Thank you. You can leave that as it is. Are you sure, sir? Yeah, that's fine. Because the customer service is outstanding in Waitrose and John Lewis and all those big shops like that. So I had that, and then we went to pay for our shopping. And then as we walked out, he's gone over to the customer services desk. Oh, I need to complain about something. He ordered... I said, no, Ron, it's fine, dear. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It was lovely. And I was saying to him, no, it's okay, my love. I said, it was a lovely cheese sandwich. They just got it wrong. I said, but it's not a problem, really, honestly. So that was that. He had another little moan there. And as we came out the door, the bloke had got the flowers. I went over there and he'd put them in bags, in waterproof bags. He says, I've watered them for you and put them in waterproof bags. Just make sure they keep them upright in the car. And he brought them over to the car. Such good service in Waitrose. So I've got these yellow flowers that are now out the front. And I must cut the heads off as they come up as well. Good. Marge says, do you grow herbs and flowers that are medicinal? I use many of my plants for health, basil for joint pain. No, I don't really. I've got a couple of rosemary plants in pots, and I need to replant those actually because one of them looks like it's dying. I love the smell of rosemary, don't you? You just run your hands along the plant and smell. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful smell, rosemary. So no, I don't mind. Vectis says, are you 51 inches around the waist? No, I'm not 50. I am actually 36 now, from 40 to 36. Thank you. What are you, Vectis? Let me have a look. My God, you must be about 75, 80 inches. You're a fat old thing, aren't you? Do you remember that Humpty Dumpty thing, Vectis? You could be Humpty Dumpty in a new series of the Play School, couldn't you? You know, wobbling around like that. 51 inches around, you bloody cheek. Humpty Dumpty sat, Humpty Vectis sat on the wall. Vectis Humpty, that's your name, isn't it? Is that your real name or did you make that up? He's at least 85 inches around the waist, Vectis. Where do you find... Do you have to tie two lots of trousers together to get around your waist? Is that what it is? He says, Chris Reardon, the perfect face for radio. We are having a giggle today, aren't we? We really... Email address chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Terry H says, how you say algae is hilarious. Well, how do you say it then? Algae? That's how you say it, isn't it? Algae. Nothing wrong with the way I say algae, is there? I don't think so. Now, look at the time. It's gone 1 o'clock now. Oh, you're still there. We're still here, are we? How much longer do you want me to go for? Huh? Shall I carry on until I see you? I know when you've switched off because I get a number thing in front of me. When I see the numbers start dropping off, I'll shut up, shall I? We can go on a bit longer. We've got a couple of emails here. Firstly, from lovely Angel. Now, Angel only lives up the road from me, actually. She's having a really hard time of it at the moment, aren't you, darling? She says, hi, Chris. I watched the colonic irrigation video that you did yesterday. And she says, this is where I put my brave hat on. Reference to colonic irrigation. Bit of a titter when you referred to how colonic irrigation works, especially as you are gay. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, Angel? If you're wondering what she's talking about, you can go and have a look. If you go to unitedkingdomtalktv.co.uk and look for the video dated Friday the 11th of July 2014, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Or also you can type it into YouTube search. Go to YouTube, type in United Kingdom Talk, Friday the 11th of July 2014, and you'll find it there when I'm talking about the awful thing known as colonic irrigation. I think I've sent you some boring albums of what my garden used to look like. No. No one, let me tell you, Angel, no one sends me anything boring. Whether it's stories about themselves, or pictures, or little videos, nothing you send me is boring. Please send whatever you want. I'm always happy to look at stuff and read stuff from people. That's what this show is all about, sharing other stories. Now, admittedly, today it's all been about me, because I've had many other stories to talk about. I've got piles of paper here today. Look, really, I could go on for 4 hours if I wanted to, but you'd be gone by then. So please carry on sending things in. That goes for everyone. Please carry on sending things in. Best way to do it, if you're watching a recording, is on the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. .co.uk. That's all up and running again now. Angel says, you should see the water feature I used to have. It wasn't in a pond, as keeping a pond clean, in my opinion, is a lot of hard work. Yeah, a few people have said that, Angel. Making sure it doesn't slime up, emptying it every few years to clean it. If you put plants in it, making sure they don't overgrow. One of my water features, which was like the buckets you mentioned. Now, I mentioned a bucket water feature which I saw, which is a big bucket going into a little bucket and a smaller bucket and a smaller bucket, and the water drip goes from one to the other, down like that. Now, she says this was indeed solar powered, but even though it was in direct sunlight, because of the British cloudy skies, it would stop and start each time there was a cloud. Oh, that would get on my bloody nerves, that would. I bet that got on your nerves, wouldn't it? The thing is, that with the water feature, solar one, I do have one solar panel on its own on the tree, and that's connected to a battery, and it constantly charges the battery up. So I'm thinking here, Angel, I could possibly connect such a water feature to my battery or to the solar system out there, and therefore it would keep going, wouldn't it? Because that battery itself is always being charged up by the sun. So that might be a way around that. I don't know if you were talking about a nice smelling climbing white flowering plant. I couldn't remember the name. She says it was called a jasmine, and of course it was indeed called jasmine. I had a long walkway that was covered in it with thousands of beautiful smelling little white flowers. I say had because Richard thought it would help and give it a trim, and it died. Do be careful when you're trimming your bushes, boys and girls. It can kill. I took some pictures of it, but I can't find them now. I will bore you with them another time, and that's from lovely Angel. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, please feel free to send in your pictures. I love seeing all the bits and pieces. James, and finally today we're going to wrap it up here. All right, because I can see you dropping off. The numbers are dropping off now. I told you, after an hour, everyone starts, oh, Christ, how long is he going to go on for? And they disappear, didn't they? Vectis says, the padding is handy when I fall off my wall. Do be careful. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. See, I'd be a good host on Play School, wouldn't I? Because I like all the nursery rhymes and all that. And at the end of the day, I find younger children respond to you much better if they think you're a bit mad. And believe me, I'm as mad as they come. I'm teaching my great niece and great nieces and great nephews at the moment to do my famous noises. Buh, 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 buh. Buh, buh. They are doing them now down the phone to me, and I'm very, very pleased with that. I cannot wait till I take the camera up there again and we get them to do the noises for you. One of the short videos, okay? James, any more messages? Get them in nice and quickly, boys and girls, because we're going to disappear shortly. Live messages, you can use the Skype. Chris Reardon, all one word, Chris Reardon, or you can phone them in and give us a phone call if you want. 020 8133 6358 is the phone-in number if you want to call in. Doesn't matter if you don't, but you'll have to be quick now because I'm going to disappear shortly and have my dinner. James says, hi Chris, hope you get this email. You mentioned Blu-ray discs. Does Blu-ray use a lot of foul language? James, I'm not quite sure where you're coming from here. Blu-ray is just basic. Oh, that I do hate when things are crooked. 1 minute, that's crooked, isn't it? 1 minute, 1 minute. I can't stand things being crooked. Is that better? No, it's still crooked, isn't it? I need something. I know. I use my mobile phone then, just to finish off the show in straightness, or as straight as it can be when I'm doing it. Blu-ray is just like a higher quality DVD. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. But no, there's no more foul language in a Blu-ray disc than there is on a DVD disc. If the film has got foul language in it, then it'll be on there. If it hasn't, it won't have. Okay? As for saying in a previous show, it's easy. Usually the one to say it, it's easy when you're talking about web hosting. They have complicated setups, and no wonder you're having so much trouble. Well, I couldn't do it. My friend James Dean did it eventually. He set up my domain and web address that wasn't working. Hope Fagash Lil is okay. Haven't heard her for a while. Lil always seems cheerful. Yes, she's quite well. We have private correspondence going backwards and forwards, and she is quite well. You were talking about medical research, where human guinea pigs are used and they pay them for money. Wasn't there a test a few years ago and it went horribly wrong? I seem to remember it was in the headline news. Yes, I do remember that, actually. There was a group of students who were being paid to do this medical test, and they went into this clinic, and apparently all the head people went as well, that the head people of the clinic, or the researchers, and they injected them with this drug or made them take pills. I can't remember exactly the story, but it went wrong, and they were writhing around in agony in this clinic. And I think some of them had fingers and toes chopped off. They would have got an awful lot of money because it had gone wrong, I would assume, as well as their normal payment. But it did go wrong. You're quite right. You're quite right. Let me see if I can find anything about that on the Google. Medical experiment students gone wrong. I don't know what to type in, really. 2006. I think this is it here. Hang on. Yes, that's a long time ago. 2006. Here's the story, which I'm picking up actually from the New York Times. Oh, by the way, you may wonder sometimes, when I'm pulling out stories from newspapers, and I always read and credit the newspaper concerned. You have to do that for copyright reasons. You're allowed to read stuff out from newspapers and things like that, but you must credit the newspaper, okay? So I'm picking this one up from the New York Times. 2006, in February, when Robbo saw the text message pop up on his cell phone from Parexel International, healthy males needed for drug trial, £2,000. It seemed like a harmless opportunity to make much needed cash. Parexel, based in Massachusetts, contracts with drug makers to test new medicines. Just weeks later, the previously healthy 31-year-old was in intensive care at London's Northwick Park Hospital, wires running into his heart and arteries, on dialysis, his immune system, liver, kidneys and lungs all failing, the victim of a drug trial gone wrong, disastrously wrong. One of 6 healthy men to receive this drug, a novel type of immune stimulant that had never been used in humans. Robbo, who agreed to speak for this article on condition his family name not be used, took part in a study that has sent shockwaves through the research world and caused regulators to rethink procedures for testing certain new drugs. So, tests of this drug, done on monkeys first, showed no major trouble. All 6 human subjects nearly died. One is still hospitalised. This was in 2006. I don't know what's happened since. The others, although discharged, have impaired immune systems and their future health is uncertain. Within minutes of receiving the milky white drug in a Parexel research unit on March the 13th, the volunteers were racked by chills, pains and nausea. Robbo recalled in a telephone interview. A doctor informed him he was seriously ill. But no one's going to die, Rob O recalled saying, believing he was participating in a fairly standard trial of a painkiller. The chilling answer, two of you might. Who's your next of kin? You know, so that's the story there. You can find that in the New York Times, dated Friday, April the 7th, 2006, if you want to read the whole story. But yes, I mean, you know, worrying, isn't it? So, most of these drug tests, of course, they have to be tested on humans, don't they? You've got to have people who are willing to try these things out. And they are paid substantial amounts of money, I think, for this. But there is always going to be the possibility that it might go wrong. So yes, I told you, I think the week before last, that a friend of mine, Lee, did a drug test where he was testing headache tablets. So they give you an injection, you get a splitting headache, and then they start giving you the tablets to see how long they take to work. He got £2,000, or one or £2,000, I think, for that. And he had to go 6 times. So it's quite good money. I wouldn't do it. But someone has to. We've got all these drugs, headaches, diabetes, I don't know what else. We've got all these drugs because they have been tested on someone at some point. And we should all thank people for doing these tests, because there is always the chance that something's going to go wrong. I'm proud to say that nothing too much has gone wrong with today's show, has it? I'm very pleased with myself. That's it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining us always every Saturday at 12 noon UK time. You can join us live here at UnitedKingdomTalkTV.co.uk. The email address, once again, chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. And do join us for our daily videos, short videos, Monday through to Friday. And again, you can find those at UnitedKingdomTalkTV.co.uk. I've got another day off now, which I shall enjoy. I think probably I'm going to go downstairs, have a bit of dinner after I've just edited this and uploaded it. I might go for a walk over the forest for a nice, peaceful afternoon. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon. Bye-bye.